So I'm coming in today with some intro energy that I've been sitting on since I texted you guys at 2 a.m.
I did not get a text from you at 2 a.m.
I didn't get any text.
Well,
I got it.
It was okay. It was a Facebook Messenger, but yes.
No, I didn't get anything.
Well, I got it.
Well,
2 a.m. Wait, 2 a.m. today?
No, like ages ago.
Oh.
Okay, let me start over.
I'm looking in the group chat.
It's not a debate about whether I did or did not send you guys a message.
Pat, prove that you sent us this text.
So, couple days later, earlier amount of time. Time means nothing in quarantine.
When?
Anyway,
Thursday?
A few days ago, Mike and I watched the Big Monkey and the Big Lizard fight movie.
Oh, yeah.
Cat.
It was good. It was fine. I didn't know that I was gonna need to know so much Godzilla and King Kong lore from the previous movies.
Incredible amounts of lore.
I did not know there was gonna be so much lore, and I was very lost.
A lot of lore.
Because I hadn't watched the other movies. Yeah, but okay, so they spent the whole, first part of the movie, and I can't speak to the second part of the movie, because I did fall asleep, but...
Oh, you missed the best... Cat, you missed the best part!
I probably did.
I'll tell you. Continue your story.
Anyway, they spent a lot of time talking about how Godzilla and King Kong, they're natural rivals. They'll fight on sight.
That's how it is.
And every time they said that, I thought, enemies to lovers, though.
Of course.
Enemies to lovers.
Of course.
Cat.
Is that how it ends?
Yes! That is
Excellent.
literally how it ends.
Cat,
it's very
Cat,
good.
you deserve your sleep. Also, Juniper, I don't trust you on saying anybody ever ends up together in any sense.
You have no idea because King Kong and Godzilla do kiss with tongue at the end of the movie.
And then there's
Good.
that 40-minute sex scene after
That's
the credits.
literally what you told me about Promare, and that's not what happened.
I'm pretty sure they kissed in Promare, though.
They do kiss in
He
Promare.
gives him mouth to mouth.
That's the same.
It's contextually a kiss.
It's not. I was waiting for a gay marriage and it never happened. It's your fault.
Well, listen, you know what I wasn't wrong about, though? When Michael Fassbender kisses Michael Fassbender in that Alien movie, that does happen, and there is tongue.
Was there tongue?
Yes.
I don't...
It is written.
Okay.
And also, at the end of Night at the Museum, Ben Stiller does kiss the monkey.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, Cat, continue.
Okay. I got excited because you said not. I'm sorry, but I got excited because I thought maybe there was one of them where the little cowboy and the little
Yeah, well,
Roman soldier.
leave it to Juniper to be like, there's a gay kiss in this movie and one of the people is a monkey.
Barl Gura's a monkey.
Okay. Listen, none of this is the point of what I wanted to try and get to here.
Sorry.
So, like I said, I fell asleep halfway through Godzilla King Kong. It's fine. But I awoke at 2 a.m. with one thought in my mind, crystal clear, which I then messaged to you, whether you received it or not, which was Kaiju Wedding Planner. And that is the game that I want us to play today. So,
Ooh.
the prize of this game, I'll lay out the prize.
It's a prize?
When next we meet, I will bake a cake. I will bake a cake, and the winner of this game gets to choose what kind of cake I'm going to make.
Oh my god.
Oh, I thought it was going to be that they get to eat the cake in front of everyone and they get to laugh. Can we do that?
But it's
Wait,
gonna turn
only
into
if
a
I
Matilda.
win.
This sounds like
No,
Matilda.
I think it's gonna become a Matilda situation, so...
Listen,
All right.
I am going to make a cake. Winner's choice of flavor. They will get to choose how much of it they eat and how much of it they share with the rest of us.
Oh,
So-
fuck.
Okay, that is fair.
So that is the prize for this
This
game.
is a good.
Okay, I'm
this is a
excited.
good
I'm
prize.
interested.
Kat's an incredible cake baker.
So here's what we're going to do. I have 3 kaiju pairings here. 3 kaiju pulled from classic movies and other events. And I'm going to give each of you a pairing.
What other events?
What other real events? Real life events?
And I'm going to give each of you a pairing in turn. You will have 1 minute to tell me what their wedding is like.
Okay.
Oh God. Okay. Shit. Oh,
I mean,
fuck.
this.
Okay.
If
I don't
fuck
believe
this
in
up,
marriage. Oh
I'm
shit.
Never,
Oh fuck.
I'm never gonna live it down.
Noel, did you just say I don't believe in marriage? Oh, fuck. Listen, I'm right there with you because there's no topic on planet Earth that I know less about than conventional weddings.
This is not a conventional wedding.
Maybe it's just because I'm a traditionalist at heart, and I just think that marriage is between one King Kong and one Godzilla.
I agree.
And
I agree.
Okay.
And they
So-
wait. for marriage.
So, who wants to go first?
I'm
Nobody
scared.
wants to go first, Kat.
Nobody, Catherine.
Then I'm gonna choose someone. I'm gonna choose someone, and it's
All
gonna be
right.
Juniper. You're gonna go first, Juniper.
Cat's so mean to me. Cat hates me.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
All right, Juniper. So you're first. Your pairing is Mothra and King Kong. What does their wedding look like?
Mothra flies inside of King Kong's ear, and
Go on.
Oh wait, I haven't started the timer yet. Your time? Hold on.
Oh.
Your time starts now.
okay, Mothra flies inside of King Kong's ear and whispers gently his vows to King Kong, and King Kong can't get him out.
Yes,
And then
the doctor.
they have to go to the doctor. And then the doctor puts a stick inside of King Kong's ear. The doctor's Godzilla, by the way, because
No amount of this so far is a wedding.
I don't know what it is.
We're getting to
What,
it.
We're
what are
getting
they
to it.
wearing? What are they wearing? What's their theme?
Mothra dies tragically inside of King Kong's ear.
This is not a wedding. This is a funeral.
Let Juniper
And then
finish.
King Kong starts to make out with Godzilla. Because King Kong is crying just like Cho Chang in Harry Potter, and his Mothra's dead, and just like Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter.
Sure.
And then Godzilla's like, I love to kiss a crying monkey, just like Corbin from Dames and Dragons. And then
Yeah,
and King
That's your
Kong-
time. Time's up.
I wanted to hear. I was riveted.
Thank you, Juniper.
I really wanted to know where this was going.
Yeah, well, you know what? Unfortunately, the mediator has spoken, and we'll never find out what happened to Mothra, King Kong, or Godzilla. Mothra isn't dead. That was going to be a reveal for later,
Oh,
but I guess
shit.
it's fine.
Oh,
No big
shit.
deal.
Well,
I'm so sorry.
No part of that was a wedding, so thank you for setting the bar on the floor for your friends to jump over. All right, Hannah, you're going to be up next.
Why do I have to go last? I don't even know about kaijus.
Do you want to go next, Noel? I can.
No, I'll go last.
You can go last because you know what? I have a great pairing
It's
for you,
bad
and I
to
think
go
you're
at
going to love
all.
it.
It's bad to go at all.
Yeah, I'm
right.
terrified.
All right, Hannah.
Yeah.
Hannah, your pairing is Godzilla and Gamera. Your time starts now.
Okay, so
What are they wearing? What's the
I'm
theme?
looking up a picture of
well,
Gamera.
first of all, so Godzilla, he's just extricated Mothra from King Kong's ear. And he's really tired. And he's like, I need to take it slow. I need to take a break. I'm going to go to the beach, right? And so, of course, Godzilla, he's out there. Sun's out.
You have 30
sun's
seconds.
out. He's soaking in the sun. Gamera emerges from the sea, a giant and resplendent turtle. And they make sweet, sweet love on the beach.
Yes.
Whilst that song from Shrek plays. Or no, Shrek 2.
Shrek
You have 15 seconds.
Yeah.
It's still not a wedding. They're still not married.
And then they get married.
Great job.
All right. Well, there was no part of that was, I guess, a beach wedding. Your time is up now. So, beach wedding for Godzilla and Gamera.
It
And
just
Sweet
makes
Love.
sense. It just makes sense.
It
It just makes sense. So, you've at least got a wedding in there.
I had multiple weddings. Don't forget that Mothra flew into King Kong's ear during their wedding ceremony.
You didn't
Anyways.
describe to me what the wedding was. You just described to me a fan fiction.
Well, what else do you need to know?
Yeah, I don't understand what you want.
Oh, it's not clicking.
All right, Noelle, you are last. You are last.
Okay.
And I've saved the
Okay.
best for last for you.
Okay.
Your pairing is Mecha Godzilla
I don't know what that is.
and Paul Bunyan.
Oh, Paul Bunyan.
So, Robot
Let me just
Godzilla
quick.
That's kinky.
and Paul
Let
Bunyan.
me look up Mecha Godzilla.
Mecha Godzilla is just Godzilla, but a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in Godzilla versus King Kong.
Oh. Would our viewers know who Paul Bunyan
Everyone
is? Is he famous
fucking knows
throughout
Everybody
the
knows
world?
who Paul
Bunyan.
Bunyan is. And we're not
If you
biased
don't know
for
who
thinking
Paul
that.
Bunyan is, Google it.
Google it.
Okay, Noelle,
Yeah.
wedding. The key word is a wedding.
Okay.
Your time starts now.
Oh, Mecha Godzilla's mother has been just pestering him for years. If he doesn't get married soon, he's going to be disowned. He needs to keep his social capital in the society he lives in. which is a good reason to get married. And
You have 30 seconds. Again, there has not yet been a wedding.
he says, I have a husband already. And then he finds Paul Bunyan on Grindr, where Paul Bunyan obviously is. And he says, be my husband. And Paul Bunyan does it for the lulz.
He does
Again, there has not been a wedding. Where
They get married on an airplane.
They get married on an airplane.
Yeah. It's Mecha Godzilla's mom.
So I love you all so much.
Where does the sentient airplane that fucks Godzilla come from? Because obviously that's how Mechagodzilla was born.
Yeah.
So Godzilla is Mechagodzilla's dad.
Clearly.
Yeah,
Because
and Mecha Godzilla's mom is the plane. Yes.
is the plane.
Okay, that makes
so there's
sense.
some kind of, in this lore,
Mm-hmm.
something happened there that I would love to explore.
So much like the King Kong versus Godzilla movie, there was deep lore to this game that I didn't know ahead of time.
You know that we only care about the lore.
We only care about the lore, Cat.
Big lore heads.
Not a one of you actually planned a wedding. You all just wrote out elaborate fan fictions about how they got together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because none of us, that's all we
build-up.
care about. We have commitment issues, Cat.
All I'm saying is you guys have made my decision very, very hard. Because there has to be a one winner here. And it's not going to be Juniper because they didn't have a wedding.
It was the very
there
beginning.
was a wedding.
I stand by what I have said. There was a wedding.
Wedding from the start.
I think we all equally did it just as badly, and so it should be random.
It's not going to be random. I'm going to discuss my thoughts as I think them. It's not going to be Juniper because also there was a death. So there was a death.
I told you
That's
Mothra
fun.
lives. It
wasn't in the 60-second time,
It was
People
the
die
death
at
of
weddings.
Superman.
It's after the
Yeah,
time.
people die at weddings all the time.
but it wasn't. And you know what? That makes it a bad wedding. So there,
Delete that story. I died at a wedding.
I gotta say, I think the beach wedding is very appropriate for Gamera.
It just makes sense.
Very appropriate for Gamera and Godzilla. I loved their energy. I loved that you continued the lore that I didn't know existed.
So when
I
Hannah
love that.
continues the lore, it's a pro, but when I create the lore, it's a negative. Whatever.
Once again,
I
my
built this
main-
franchise.
My main problem was the death in the wedding. That started like the whole thing off.
But
Which
see, we couldn't have gotten to this beach wedding if Godzilla hadn't been tired from removing.
It's true.
You know, I
Dead
just think that Godzilla and Gamera's wedding is actually derivative of several earlier kaiju weddings. So.
Well, and that's where I was going to go to. So I love the idea of getting married inside your own mother. That's appropriately weird for this.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. I do wonder what the size of that plane would have to be to house a kaiju wedding, to house both Mechagodzilla and Paul Bunyan, who are, I guess, just getting married because the plane demands it.
Yeah.
So that's a convoluted
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. They get married. It's like, who's getting married for the plane? It's really good.
It's a hard decision between giant plane wedding that is also inside your mom
Yes.
and beach wedding full of passion
Mm-hmm.
and sunsets. And you know what?
And what
I'm a
about
romantic at heart.
tragic wedding with unforeseen death? I mean,
No, you know what?
That's what I want.
I have to follow my heart, and my heart says sunset and steamy romance on the beach. Hannah, you are our winner.
Oh shit!
Consider
oh
know
my
what?
God.
your cake.
I would like to concede because Hannah's was the only one where I really believed that the two kaijus were in love.
And you know, I will say, as much as I feel that I have been betrayed by the committee, I do support the works that were chosen on their own merit. I think that they are deserving of the award despite the corruption within the system. So,
Thank you, Jennifer. That really means a lot to me.
Well, Hannah, consider, ruminate on what your cake will be. We have until, I believe, May 4th is when I'm getting vaccinated. I don't know when Juniper's second dose is.
May 14th is when
May
my
14th.
second dose
So
is,
you have
yeah.
until mid-May when we will next meet again in person, and I'll bake a beautiful cake. So think about it. In the meantime, let's play some D&D.
Yes, you will eat the cake off of my naked body, everyone.
Yay!
No, Noelle, because you didn't win the game. We will eat it.
I think that the winner of the game gets to decide how we eat the cake and off of whose body.
We only are going to eat the cake off of your body if Hannah wants us to eat the cake off
I
of
think
your
that
body.
sounds great.
Hannah does want it. Yes.
Of course.
All right, well, good.
How could I say no?
I'll just be laying on my bed, completely still, like a corpse,
That's the only way I eat cake, actually.
when you arrive.
So, hi, my name is Kat, and I believe that love is between two kaijus. Also, I'm your DM.
Oh yeah. Hello. My name is Noelle. I play Fran, and from the time I was a little girl, I've always dreamed of getting married inside my mother.
A good thing to talk about in therapy.
I'm Juniper, and I just want everybody to know that Mothra faked his own death.
Please.
And
Go on.
He is in witness protection, and I cannot give you further details, but just know he is out there. He is watching. He is waiting.
I think Mothra's a girl. I think Mothra's a she.
Mothra is gender neutral.
That's fair.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I play Lado, and I will gladly trade my cake victory for these Mothra secrets.
I don't want to insinuate anything or say that it could have something to do with Mothman, and that there's some kind of connection between the two. But look for the signs. You know that it's there if you dig. That's all I'm gonna say.
I love it. So last time, Fran and Falen, they ended up in the void. Falen couldn't get them out of the void, so that wasn't great. And then Fran's decisions came back to haunt her when she was confronted by some friendly demons that
Friendly.
she couldn't. that
she
summoned. And then those very friendly demons decided, they didn't want to be friendly anymore and instead wanted to eat her, so they tried to kill her and Phelan, but you fought him off. Then you got swallowed up by a big scary wolf monster. That's probably Kai. And that's where we are now. Fran, you are swallowed by darkness. It presses in on all sides, slick and warm. And then there's a breath of cold, fresh air. Then you blink and you are in the forest. The great forest. The smell of leaves and the feel of the cold, constant breeze, it brings you back home. Your home. When you turn, you see the forest temple where you first met Mary and embarked on your trial so long ago. Has it really only been less than a year? It was another lifetime. And the temple looks as it never did when you saw it. It's white and pristine, with delicate carvings that were hidden by moss and vines, now visible in the bright afternoon sunlight. But you can see now, too, the blackness seeping in through the trees, rolling over the green summer grass, closing in inch by inch. And the creature from the void stands at the temple doors, panting, still holding Phelan in its teeth. It tosses him down the stairs and he rolls, limp and unconscious, landing in a pile at your feet. The creature growls, and from its inky mass of feathers, it begins to turn itself inside out. collapsing in on itself as a human hand breaks through the mass, revealing an arm, a shoulder, a head, and finally the beast folds into the shape of a woman. She's short and sturdy, with long black hair that's pinned straight and falls across her broad, flat face. She's panting as she stands there, dressed in a long white gown made of delicate layers of fabric. But the dress looks wrong on her, like it doesn't fit, and the headdress perched on her brow seems precarious. Hello, Franika. And it is the voice of the goddess, which you know from the visions of your journal. It's Kai.
I squat down to check on Falen.
He is breathing, but unconscious.
And then I look up at Kai.
And when you look up at her, she's still there, still human, but she's taller now. The same flat nose and dark eyes, but a thinner face, a more wiry frame. The dress and headdress look more natural. Less of a girl and more of a goddess. And when she speaks, her voice is just a little different this time. We have very little time, I'm afraid. My realm is unstable and I cannot keep it in place very long. I have very little power of my own now. Just what I receive from our people who still pray to me. But they are few, and the powers of the beast gods lay with Mary now. It is good.
What did you do to him?
He's neutralized for the moment. He'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm glad to finally meet you. And she steps down the steps of the temple and holds out a hand to you.
Are you suffering from high-quality podcasts? You see, quality podcasts stimulate parts of your brain, leading to an irksome condition called thinking. But suffer no more, my friend. Introducing Discount Storytime's blend of fictional nonsense and rancid gibberish to provide soothing relief. Try Discount Storytime today. Available on most podcast catchers and at discountstorytime.com.
Consult your healthcare provider before listening to Discount Storytime. Not intended to treat unicyclitis, pickleball liver, or jittering expectations.
I kind of tilt my head and say, I don't trust you.
And she frowns, and every time you look away, her face changes. Just a little more each time, shifting mother to daughter. Every form that she's ever had. And she sighs and looks a little sad at that. Says, I know. I was naive. And I'm afraid Torva got to you first. The journal, you were supposed to have that from the age you were old enough to read, but Alonia did not survive as long as I thought she would. But still, you are my chosen. And I have work for you to do.
What is that even supposed to mean?
It means that I chose you. In our agreement, Torva and I, we would each choose one champion. And he was clever. He was more clever than I thought he would be. His champion was Laika. Can you believe that?
What?
Brave and loyal Laika. I thought it would be some follower of his, some creature he had hidden away on my island, but no. It was the most brave and loyal child of the wolves, and she made you love my daughter. Despite everything I did to try and set you up so you would not see her as a person, isolate her, silence her, so you would do what you needed to do when you had the chance.
What did you think I needed to do?
I needed you to sacrifice her to me. Will you do that? Would you do that?
Sacrifice Mary? Lady, you got another thing coming. For one thing,
I don't think she even can be sacrificed anymore.
She can't. And I didn't think you would. That was the point of choosing Leica. Choose somebody so brave and loyal and good that she would make you all care too much for Mary until it was too late. And now neither of us can have her. And I am stuck here. Forever.
That must be really hard for you. Excuse me if I don't feel a lot of sympathy, but I've seen the kind of things that you're capable of.
It wasn't. I never wanted that. I made one flippant comment, a joke. When asked what I was the god of, I did not know I would be shackled to a purpose that I could never escape. I became a god and sacrificed everything. And I just wanted it to end, Franika. I need you to understand that. That is the point of all of this. We agreed, Torva and I. It has to end, one way or another. So that we can end.
And so the only way you thought it could end is if you kill, like, thousands of people?
No, not thousands.
Or just Mary?
Not people. And Mary should have never... She looks upward and she looks anguished and says, Franika, if given the choice, who would you sacrifice? Someone else's child or your own?
I look down at Falen and I'm like, well, I'm not ready to talk about having kids yet. Also, definitely someone else's.
And Kai laughs bitterly and looks away. I couldn't do it. When the time came when all of my people had already lost so much, had already lost a whole world. Their children were their last hope, that things would continue, that things could continue after that devastation. I wouldn't ask anyone else to sacrifice their child to me, so I sacrificed my own again and again, and it killed me a little more each time. I'm not proud of it. But if I hadn't, everyone on Estra would have died. Everyone. So I did what I had to do, and I'm not sorry for it. And I became a monster, and you see that here. In the void. And now I will die a monster. Until I eventually lose my consciousness, and I become just another thing that prowls hungry in this place.
You wanted it to end.
I'm okay with it, Franika. But I do not want my mission to die with me. That is why I chose you. That is why I had your father place you in the woods. So that you could do what I would not be able to.
Kill Mary?
No. The time for that is past now. She is a god in her own right and more powerful than I or her father ever would be. No, Franika. You need to kill the forces. Torva wants to enslave them, to bend them to his will. He says that this will bring peace, if he is the one who controls access to all magic, and that is not right. It will only lock Avalis into a never-ending cycle of strife and destruction. No. The forces need to die, and magic needs to die with them. Release Avalis from them.
I don't know if that's possible.
It's possible. Since he was not able to get Mary, Torva has worked to awaken a giant. The giants can cross to Avadal. He has made much progress. And he will have to sacrifice another god to do it. But you will not. Mary is powerful enough. She has the power of 4 gods, my 3 beast gods and Torva. She can do it. She can wake the giant. She can kill the forces. And Kai surges down the steps of the temple, and she takes both of your hands in hers. She says, Franika, we did not have the time together we should have. And I know you do not trust me, but trust this. This is the only way to bring peace to Avalis. It will all simply go again and again. Gods destroying each other, and people, and everyone is a pawn in their game, because we're all losing ourselves. Mortals were never meant to live this long. We were never meant to have this power. And it drives us all mad. Whether we want to or not, we will always destroy. You have to stop it. And by this point, she's looking more and more like Mary. Just a generation or 2 removed from your friend. And the forest has disappeared. It's just the little circle around the temple now. The grass disappearing blade by blade as the darkness encroaches. Promise me, Franika. Be my champion in this. Let magic die.
Fran kind of looks around and says, I don't understand why you would pick me.
And she smiles a little and says, because you have magic of your own. Through your mother, an elemental summoned to my kingdom, fell in love with your father. And when the forces are severed from the world, you will retain that magic.
Oh, what about... I look at Falen.
You'll become mortal. They all will. The gods will just be people again. Die. Finally.
I hold out my hand and I say, then I promise.
And Kai grasps it in hers, and then her hands around yours turn black, and then they turn to paws with sharp talons coming from the ends. And the transformation goes up her arms, and the wolf's head swallows her again. And the clearing disappears, and she falls back down onto 4 paws. And she bends her enormous head down to you and nods, and then walks off into the void. And you see that line of stars that connects to you, following her, far away, until she's gone.
Okay, well, hello and welcome to another episode of Dames and Dragons. Oh, it's a spicy one this episode, I believe. I hope you guys are enjoying our mini arc, such as it is. And I did want to tell you, if you like the song that's at the end, you can go to my Bandcamp, which is noelcherie.bandcamp.com. Noel, Noel, Cherie, Shiri, Bandcamp. The place you go when you're in middle school and you love the trombone more than anything else. If you want to check out the song and you want to fund my future legal fees against Utada Hikaru, then go ahead and just shop around and feel free to pick up the song from Arc 60. I also would like to thank our Apple Podcast reviewers today. Thank you to Binky Fiasco from Australia, Kayla and Abra Nicole from the United States, or who have a VPN. Thank you guys so much for reviewing us. It really, really, really helps. Like, no lie. There's a reason we keep thanking those people, and there's a reason we keep talking about how much it helps the podcast, because it's really a wonderful thing. And the other most wonderful way to help our podcast, of course, is to donate money directly on Patreon. And I would love to thank our new patrons for this episode. Thank you to Anthony. Thank you to Goblin Snack. Thank you to Goblin Snack just for having that sort of a name that is Goblin Snack. I love that. Thank you to Kelly. Heebies McGeebies. Oh, yes. The vibes are incredible. Pen Dramas. Thank you. Celine, Charlotte, Shelby, Danielle, Jordan, Claire, Elliot, Joseph, Steve. Are you kidding me? You guys all came? Thank you. Thank you, guys. You have brightened our lives and brightened our bill-paying days. Thank you so much. It really, really means a lot. Oh, one thing that I did want to mention at some point is that we have we talked about we've talked about the fact that Rudy has joined the Dames and Dragons team as a producer, right? Rudy Basso, who played Zaroth, and who used to be one of the heads of our network, our old network, DSPN, has become our mom, our manager of management, and he helps us with so many things. And one of the things he's helping with is editing. So he and I are kind of doing a collaborative process now for editing. So that has been the system for the past 5 episodes now. So yeah, just in case you're wondering who to speak curses to, it's me and Rudy. That's usually would be the answer for almost any grievance. So yeah, he's at Rudy Basso if you'd like to speak curses to him. I won't tell you my Twitter for no reason. I'll just leave it to your imagination. And now, while you're doing that, please listen to this beautiful ad for another podcast on our network, Geekspective.
Hi, I'm Josh, and I run an actual play podcast that I'd like you to check out. I'm using the Godbound system, and I create a sandbox-style game in a large city called Moxbury. All of the player characters are evil, and I think that this really creates an interesting narrative because...
Nobody cares! I, Azrael, had to reconfigure reality to become the evil saint of Pelor. Now I plan to overthrow the government of Moxbury and amass followers. Then I will become...
You wouldn't know the first thing about reconfiguring reality. I did it, not you. I, Milana, want no part of your feeble plans. When my plan comes to fruition, all of Moxbury will become my undead army, with them at my command.
They have to be dead before they become undead. I'm going to silence this entire city and prove myself. Prove Gerlach worthy of the goddess of the void.
No! Leave the monsters. I, Nuak Godslayer, will raise an army of monsters. They will overthrow our human leaders and live free. And I will be there.
Will all you quit your bickering and shut your faces? I, Brimstone, hear enough voices in my head without all of you talking over each other. All I want to do is kill the wizard Shalazar. It doesn't sound too difficult, does it?
If I have my way, it will be. Check out Tales from Moxbury wherever you find your podcasts or geekspective.com.
Make sure to check it out. We also have an ad on the store today. So if you ever want to look into getting your own message read on Dames and Dragons or your own advertisement read on Dames and Dragons, you can go to damesanddragons.store. And here is the beautiful one we have today. Created by the people who brought you Mag of Holding, Isendor's Vault of Tragic Treasure is laden with magic items of the tragic variety. Most are tragic in origin alone, but others are tragic by nature and to be used at one's own risk. Back our Kickstarter and be the first to get Isendor's Vault of Tragic Treasure and a small mountain of delicious trimmings. To back the Kickstarter, go to bit.ly/tragic treasure. That sounds incredible. That sounds like something that our second campaign that we do on Patreon would really enjoy. Items tragic by nature. That's what it's really all about. And last of all, a message to Chantel. Chantel, I'm so glad that we've made a blood oath to go see Dune together when it comes out in theaters this October. Chantel, I do want you to know that the experience of watching the 1984 Dune movie in our dorm room when we were like 16 years old is one of the most treasured and surreal experiences of my entire life. And knowing that we looked it up, how long it was, and it was only 2 hours and 20 minutes, when it truly and utterly felt like a lifetime. The spice, the tooth, the spice, the tooth, the tooth, the tooth. Chantel, the code word is the tooth. The sleeper agent is active. Go.
Falen coughs at your feet and rolls onto his back. Fran?
Fran kneels down and says, "Man, you really missed a lot of shit."
Yeah, what happened?
Well, we're in the void, and then do you remember the wolf? When did you lose consciousness? You really have been fainting a lot lately. Kai was there, and
I don't. Wait. And he gasps, shallowly, but he gasps. He says, "Fran, someone's praying to me."
Oh, who is it?
The relief on his face is so overwhelming, he looks like he might cry, and you hear the distant echo of a voice. It's a woman, speaking softly. "My darling boy, they took my altar to you away. I pray to your father, but he will not answer me. I can guess, though. There was quite a stir here today, and I thought, well, I don't know what's happening, but I thought you could use my strength. I met these lovely young people. They said they were priests, but they lied. Stole the sacrifice meant to bring your father back to this world, but still I think they would be good friends to you. They had kind faces. I think they were doing what they thought was right. I hope that wherever you are, that is what you are doing too, my darling." And there are tears rolling down Phelan's face. But the line of stars of magic connecting back to the island, it is just a little brighter now. And he gets up slowly, says, "Mother." And then he wipes his eyes and says, "I'm sorry. Swear I'm not a mama's boy."
I hug him and I say, "Yes, you are. And that's beautiful." And I rub his little back.
And he presses his face against the crook of your neck and takes a deep breath. "It's enough. Do you have anything of Mary's?"
What, you mean you didn't suss that out looking through my bag? And I open up the bag.
I can't find anything in your bag.
You know what? There's probably like another Mary in here and you just missed it. I look through there. And then I look up at him shiftily and then I like look more. And then I'm like, "You really disorganized it."
I don't
really
think
it was easy to find stuff before.
I truly do not believe you.
I pull out her like nighttime kit that has like her toothbrush and like her face lotion, a little cup for her to spit water from. This is her most prized possession.
Phelan takes it and goes, "Wow, that's really sad."
I'm kidding, I think.
He looks over it and then he nods. And he says, "Okay, well, whatever. It's enough." And then he looks at that string of stars, the bare thread of magic that is floating to him, already starting to trail off, and he grasps it with both hands. He says, "Hold on."
I do.
And he pulls on that thread and takes a deep, shuddering breath. And then he looks down into the river of stars below your feet, And he pulls hard on that thread he has in his hands, and the only sign of movement is the river under you, moving suddenly swift, catching you up in it until you're deposited on another distant shore. And Falen collapses to his hands and knees again, that little line of magic slipping out of his hands, used up in this one action. And it's barely noticeable, but there's something else too. An after image of him each time he moves. A second Falen that moves a split second behind him. And it doesn't move exactly the same way.
I hesitantly give Falen a thumbs up.
And Falen gives you a thumbs up, but the second Falen, that after image, does more of a sideways thumb.
Falen, are you feeling okay?
I think so. For now. And as he looks up, you find that you are at the edge of a marble floor. And in front of you is a white bedroom with a huge canopied bed and stacks of books piled up before it. There's a balcony overlooking a skyline, and it's Estra. And standing at the railing is Mary. Her traveling clothes have been bleached bright white and fit elegantly, like they were made for her rather than bought in a desert market for cheap. Her hair has grown back in a dark halo around her head, threaded with coils of gold. And she turns to look at you, her expression shocked and then relieved, and she surges forward, signing, "Fran!" as she runs forward and grabs you up in a hug.
Oh, I hug Mary back. I say, Mary! Oh, I missed you. Are you okay?
And she pulls back, and you see that tears of joy have welled up in her eyes, and they're gold. And there are gold markings trailing from her eyes down her cheeks and neck. Tear tracks imprinted into her dark skin and freckling her cheeks. But she wipes the tears away, and those are temporary, though the markings are permanent. And she signs, "I'm okay. When I pulled us in, at first I didn't know what to do, and Torva, he escaped into his own realm, but I was able to see how he did it, and make this for myself, and it seems that it's not touching me, while the void, as long as I stay in here." And she looks down at Falen and gasps, and she signs to you, "Oh, help me move him in here." And she grabs him under the arms.
I grab his little feeties and I say, "Oh my God, Mary, you're so fucking cool. I know you can't talk to me while you're holding Falen, but I just want you to know."
She smiles, and the two of you drag him onto the white marble floor. And when you turn around, the void isn't there anymore. It's just a doorway out of this room into a hallway.
I think something happened to him. He used too much energy or something.
Mary looks down at him and nods. And she signs, "I've seen others. When I look out into the void, other gods. I saw Porthos, the one that Corbin found. This place is caustic to us. If there's not enough magic to protect us, it eats away at us." "I'm fine. I have magic to spare, apparently." And she waves her hands, and 2 cups of delicious hot cocoa appear in her hands. And she hands one to you.
Oh my God, Mary! I grab one of the hot cocos and I drink it in 2 gulps, and I'm like, "Oh, it's delicious."
And Mary hands one to Falen, getting down and putting it in his hands, and he weakly sits up enough to bring it to his lips. Says,
"Falen, it's amazing.
It's great cocoa. I'm glad you're okay."
I think there's gold leaf in this hot cocoa."
Mary sort of nods and shrugs and then signs, "Everything I'm making sort of ends up a little bit gold. I don't know how to change that yet."
"You don't need to change it. Oh, you're so fancy. Oh, you're living a lifestyle that I can only dream of, Mary."
Mary gets back up and she beckons you and says, "Come see. Look what I've made." And she she walks over to the balcony, and you see the Estrin skyline outside isn't the same as the one you grew up with. The edges of the city are dotted by green, rolling hills, surrounded by forested mountains which climb up the valley on all sides, protecting the city from outsiders. Mary smiles down and then signs, "It's New Estra. I wanted to make sure they were okay, so I can see them from here. They're in a northern valley of the continent Vola? We haven't been there yet.
Wow.
And in the center of the city, there are 2 statues, one of Kai and one of Mary. And you see Laika in the town square, laying out wreaths of flowers in front of both statues, along with Buddy and a few white-robed priests. And Mary rests her elbows on the railing of the balcony and signs, "I'm glad they're doing well."
Can you communicate with them?
A little. I can give signs. If I just... She, reaches out and sort of flicks her fingers at the statues, and a breeze whips by, whipping up the flower petals from the wreaths so that they dance around the statues. And you see Laika...
Can you give Laika a sign that I know she was supposed to be a traitor, but I also know she's not, and I love her very much?
Wait, what?
We're in the same boat. Can you just give her just a sign of that?
That's a little more complicated than I can really, do, but I can,
Just get the leaves going.
Let's do this. And she swirls a finger, and a little raindrop just sort of plops down from the blue sky onto Laika's head.
Oh, it's me. I look down and I say, "That's really beautiful, Mary."
But Fran, what are you doing here? How did you... I didn't do this, did I? I didn't bring you into the void.
You almost killed me, babe. But luckily, your brother was kind enough to suck me into the void, so...
And can't get you back. And I can't either.
Yeah, he can't do much of anything, I'm gonna be honest. Torva had them remove all his altars.
Gosh, he's such a dick.
He sucks. I hate him. You know who else sucks? You remember those demons I summoned before? Bad news. Bad news. I'm gonna summon them so much. I'm gonna make them do my cleaning.
And she signs, "Fran."
Just for laundry day.
She signs, "Fran, I think that's the I thought, okay, I'm gonna lay this out. I've always been against the demon summoning. I am now doubly against the demon summoning. You do not have my blessing."
You can be against it if you want, Mary. I've got a score to settle. They tried to kill my boy.
Well, you don't have my blessing.
Mary, that really hurts a lot. You know, it's like sometimes the gods send down a sign that you're overpowered in battle and they don't want you to use your best resources. And I just find it really unfair, and I'm going to do whatever I want. But it hurts me that you disapprove of my hedonistic tendencies.
Mary shrugs and signs, "I'm a god now. I have responsibilities."
Falen's a god. He doesn't care.
Phelan sits up a little bit. And he says, "No, I'm with Mary on this one."
Don't listen to Falen. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's delirious. He's out of his mind.
And Mary signs, "Anyway, I've had a lot of time to think here about everything. What we're doing and what's coming next. Stuck here, I can only see in places where there are altars to me or where someone's praying. But Buddy and Laika have been sending people further afield recently, now that the city is set up. So I've been able to see a little bit of what's going on out there, and I think I even know what we need to do. If only we could get out of here." And Mary looks up sharply into the doorway behind you, which now is leading out to the black void again. And there's a garbled voice coming from far away. The words coming in wobbly and overlapping until they resolve into the voices of Corbin and Slake. And they're saying something about a doorway.
We've opened the door to darkness!
Fran? Mary?
Mary, Fran, Falen!
Can you hear us? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!
don't have time to figure out what they did, but let's go.
I think they killed somebody. Let's do it!
Oh, I hope they didn't kill anybody. I really didn't want them to kill anybody. Mary grabs Falen up and, supports him under one arm and motions for you to come do the same.
I do the same, and I'm like, Falen, you think they killed somebody, huh? Let's go.
I never know if they're gonna kill somebody. They seem both really into it and also really against it. It's a confusing vibe. And as you step out the door of Mary's realm and you're back in the void, you can look down and see in the river of stars there is a crack, letting in a bright white light. And Mary gathers you both up and steps toward that line, bringing you through the river. So you are surrounded by these stars, this magic all around you. And she steps toward it again, bringing you both with her until a hulking sword cuts down in your path. And the shape of a slimy, inky black demon resolves. One arm ends in a massive claw, and the other a sword which it placed in your path. And from behind it, our old friends, Barlgura and Lado, slither out again.
Did you miss me, Franika?
Oh, I was going to say that shit.
No, I didn't. I'm gonna make you clean my underwear.
Excuse me?
You heard me. Every time I have a slight inconvenience, you are coming through the veil.
Franika, I will follow you to the ends of the earth and peel all of those who you love away from you like the leaves of a rotten banana. You'll be left naked and in the dark.
Oh, Barlgura, the feeling is absolutely mutual.
Insolent child.
And the big demon, the inky black thing that stands in your way, leans forward. These two told me how it is. You summoned them. You are strong, but you are beholden to the gods. Maybe you don't want to be. Your friends made a deal. They will let us out. But we don't have to let you out. But I will let you out. If you want your power a different way. If you don't want to do what the gods tell you to do. We can make a deal. You can be beautiful. You can be powerful. You can be anything you want. I will give you power. You will feed me power. We will work together. Or I will kill you, and I will eat you, and we will escape into your world anyway.
First of all, I'm already beautiful and powerful, so jot that down.
Here's the deal I'm offering you, Fran.
Yes.
Is if you want to, you can re-roll your character as a warlock.
Oh, shit.
But I already put...
Franika, wouldn't you perhaps like to be more powerful? To save those who are dear to you? It would be an excellent deal.
It's an excellent deal.
Shut the fuck up, you guys!
Okay,
Shut up!
Jeez, all right.
I'm trying to think.
You don't have to shout.
I will send these two to serve you, however you wish.
Pardon?
Papa!
I didn't agree to this.
We did not discuss this, Papa. Please reconsider.
I didn't sign anything.
Please, you mustn't.
Silence.
All right, well, Fran looks from Barlgura to Lado to this big guy, and she kind of raises her chin and she says, "It's bold of you to assume I won't figure out a way to summon you someday."
She did not just say that.
And Mary looks towards you and signs, "That's a no, right?"
That's a no.
Okay, good. I was really gonna disapprove. And then she steps forward and pulls together gleaming handfuls of stars, which leap to her hands, and she throws the demons back. She points to the crack in the river and signs for you to go.
Well, you have to come with us.
She signs, I'm right behind you, go.
Mary!
God damn it. Fran is weak as hell and she is supporting Falen. So she's just trying to drag him bodily. She can barely move. So she does need to start moving. And so she is, but she's
Mary, I swear to God, you better come on.
And Mary steps backwards as she holds this shield, and the demons are surging into it, coming from every direction now. Little slithery things as well as larger demons, many-toothed, sharp-clawed, dozens of mouths, hundreds of eyes, all of them surging towards this crack in the void, this way out into the feast of magic that is Avalis. And then Mary casts it out, pushing the demons back just long enough to shove you and Falen through, and catch you with one hand so she falls back as well. The light is blinding and the heat is searing, and you come tumbling out, back into the world that is, back into Avalis.